right, welcome to our April 20th, 2026 at 5 p.m., our regularly scheduled board meeting. We'll call the meeting to order at 5:01 p.m. We will establish quorum. We have Carlin Fryer, Dallas Pipes, Dr. Kraft, myself, Christy Schmidt, Courtney Daughter Bruce, Rich Senna, and Garrett Wilson. Sarah Falkenberry is out of the country today. And we will be heading to closed session to discuss A, pursuant to Texas Code 551.074, deliberation regarding matters related to employment, appointments, resignations, terminations, retirements, and reassignments. B, pursuant to Texas Code 551.0821, deliberation of personally identifiable information about a public school student. C, pursuant to Texas Code 551.072, deliberation regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. And finally, D, pursuant to Texas Code 551.074, discussion of board self-assessment, evaluation, roles, and duty of board members. So with that being said, we will head to closed session at 5:02. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our April 20th regularly scheduled board meeting. We have just reconvened from closed session, and we will begin open session at 6:30 p.m. We will reestablish our quorum. We have 6 of our 7 board members here, along with our superintendent, Dr. Kraft. Sarah Falkenberry is out of the country tonight, so thank you for being here.
Good evening. At this time, please rise for the presentation of colors by the Bernie ISD Junior ROTC Color Guard.
Hollis. Hoop. Present. Hollis.
Please join our students from Cibolo Creek Elementary as they lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Colors. Post. Order. Hollis. Hollis, turn. March.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence and prayer. Thank you, and please be seated. Madam President and trustees, our students from Cibolo Creek Elementary have some great questions for you this evening.
Welcome. Y'all doing okay tonight? Would you like to tell us your name and ask your question?
I'm Marley, and I'm in 4th grade. Do you have a job other than working on the school board?
That's a great question. Did you know that we're all volunteers here on the school board? So that means we don't get paid for being on the school board. So I think it's really interesting. Maybe we should just all go down the row and tell what our degree is and actual job is, because we actually do all have outside businesses and jobs. Garrett, Carlin, would you like to start?
I got to turn it on this way this time. So I actually have I graduated from Bernie High School. I have a degree from UTSA in criminal justice. Has nothing to do with my line of work because I'm a banker.
So
Yeah, I appreciate that's a great question because I think all of us, this becomes a big part of our life. But yeah, so I have 5 kids, so my wife should say that that's my job. I got medically retired from the military. I was combat wounded, so God had other plans for me, so I ended up selling real estate, got kind of in a family business there from my mom's side. But yeah, 5 kids takes up a lot of my time, but I'm really, really blessed to be able to spend a lot of my time here with these people and with you and with a lot of the people in the back of this room. So I feel very blessed to do it. Thank you.
And I have my degree in education, so I served many years in teaching in the classroom, and my family and I own a lumber business.
Being here with us. My name is Courtney, and I graduated with a degree in business communications, so kind of a dual degree. And my family owns an oil and gas company, so I love to do. I guess I have the gift of gab. So sales, I get to go out and call on companies and sell oil and gas instrumentation. So I don't really know what it all does, but I've learned the lingo. And my dad is super proud when I get to go out in the field and do that. But I was always in sales of some sort. Y'all know the brand Nike, the swoosh? My first job was I got to work for Nike and travel to all the fun events and work with really famous athletes. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've got a degree in international relations, and I currently own an insurance agency. But I'm also called into duty a lot to care for my grandchildren, and my favorite part is spending time with them, and my least favorite part is changing diapers, but we do it all.
So I have a finance degree from A&M, Texas A&M, and then I also, yeah, there we go, yeah. And then I also have a degree in petroleum engineering from New Mexico Tech. I don't know if there's any New Mexico Tech. Yeah, that's it. Hey, how'd you know? That's crazy. Yeah, no, but and I'm also a banker in town, just like Carlin, and so he and I and Rich as well serve on the finance committees here at for BISD, and so we kind of get to use our hopefully being good with numbers for that job. I learned a lot about you guys I didn't know, which is kind of funny here. There, so it's Marley, right? So what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to work at NASA.
Oh, wow, cool. Yeah. We'll be looking forward to seeing where your career takes you. You're going to make Bernie very proud.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend working as a school board member?
You know, I think it varies. You know, we just told you all of our regular jobs and outside of school board activities, and we all have our own children. I would say sometimes 10 hours, and sometimes it could be up to 20 hours or more, depending on if we're doing trainings or if it's an important board meeting week or what the week has planned. As board president, I've noticed that my hours have increased throughout the weeks, and so this lovely lady will be taking over next month as president. So yeah, I think it just varies on the time of year, but anywhere between 10 and 20, because we go to extracurricular activities to watch all of your great games and fine arts, on top of all of our board committee meetings and just things that we do for the district.
Yeah, I
would add that there's a lot of community meetings that we go to that really aren't mandatory. Mm-hmm. But if you want to develop relationships, whether it's with the city of Bernie, the city of Fair Oaks, you need to have relationships, and that requires time. And each one of us does continuing education every year. We're required to do, depending on your time on the board, 5 hours a year or 10 hours. We all routinely do in excess of 30 hours. So that's almost a week's worth of work just in continuing education to learn more about what we do, what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, I actually was keeping really good chart whenever I was elected, because I wanted to figure out from the time I was elected how many hours I was actually putting into this, and I like numbers. So over the summer, I think it was August 8th is when I stopped counting. I was at 168. But I would agree with you. I was averaging probably about, from this last year, about 12 hours a week. But that's, late night phone calls, messaging, all the conversations that we have, I was charting. So, but thank you for that. What was your anticipation? What was it going to be?
I was thinking about like 5 hours. I wasn't thinking that high. I also have
Thank-
another question.
Okay, go for it.
What types of things do you have to do outside of board meetings?
I'll comment on that. So we were actually talking about it earlier. We have the privilege of being a part of different committees. And so within Bernie ISD, there's a lot of different things that are behind the scenes that, you know, you go to class and you're like, man, this is great. I'm learning a lot. But there's a lot of different things that goes into being a part of a school district. And so we get to be a part of committees like systems of care to make sure that student needs are being met. Student Health Advisory Committee is another one. Finance committees, Safety and Security Committee, Legislative Priority Committees. There's a lot of committees to be a part of, and it's all great. And so it's a part of the story that we get to tell for Bernie ISD, what makes us great. So obviously students like you are the shining stars, and what everybody sees is like what makes us extra great with our teachers and our students and our staff. But there's so much that goes into making a school district great, and y'all are just the cherry on top. So, buddy, I didn't get your name. What's your name?
Oh yeah, my name is Duncan Baum, and I'm the student council president.
Wow, Duncan. Well, thank you for your service. I know that's a lot. Do you have a lot of responsibilities as well?
Yes.
Well, thank you for what you do to make your school great.
Thank you very much. Great questions.
My name's Hudson, and my question is, what's the most important part of your job as a school board?
Well, Hudson, we do really a lot of stuff, but three real main things. The school board has three jobs that we do. One is we set local policy. So if there's rules outside of what the state of Texas requires, then we have some governance on that. Two is we hire the superintendent and support her. Three is we set the budget every year, which is what we're doing right now. We have budget workshops once a month starting in February and going all the way to June when we actually pass the budget. And I would say that's probably one of the most important things that we do just on an annual basis is setting the budget. I mean, it's a big, what are we, 116 million right now? So it's a large number, and requires a lot of time and thought and a lot of pieces, and all the folks here that you see putting in a lot of information and time and effort into that. And so it's a fun job, and it's very rewarding.
Yeah, because in doing so, in doing the budget and all the things that Mr. Wilson mentioned, we always want to make sure that you stay at the heart of all of those decisions. So you guys are the very most important thing to us while we're doing the budget and hiring and, approving programming. Thank you. Great question.
Hello, my name is Ava Ferrata, and I'm in 5th grade, and I'm the Vice President of Student Council. And I just wanted to know, if I wanted to become a school board member, what would I need to do?
I believe in Texas you have to be 18 first, but you'll get there really soon. And you have to be a registered voter. Then you file with your elections office, and then you run a fair campaign, and you get everybody you can to come out and vote for you. And when people come during the election, if you get the most votes, then you're an elected official and you get to be on the school board. And then you have to do all this training and everything we've been speaking about. So that's a very short answer. Would anybody like to add anything?
I would love to add. Well, first of all, you've heard some of these questions and answers. This is something you want to do?
Maybe.
Maybe? Okay. Well, I think what they said earlier was keeping, every child every day is definitely one of our biggest focuses. And I think that's kind of speaks to everybody here, but trying to be positive in times that maybe aren't so positive, and always trying to give a solution to a problem and not just come with more problems, but be part of the solution. And that can be in every way, in every shape in your life. Just be part of that solution. Show up to the room where decisions are going to be made and try to give good input instead of just being the one that's pointing out what's wrong. There's plenty of that. And we have, limited budgets from the state, so there's always going to be things, and it's a hard job to make hard decisions. And from the outside, it might not seem like it all the time, but it is. You're always taking from something to give to something else, and those are hard decisions. So you have to be willing to make that sacrifice, the sacrifice of your team or your time. Other big part of it, I think, is you have to be outwardly facing the way you want to see the inside. So if you want the school district to be great and to show up and support people, I think you got to take ownership. For me, I want to be at things, be at track meets, be at football games. I want to be what I want to see.
And the other thing I would add is that you have to always remember what your mission is, and that's to do what's right for the education of our children, 11,000 plus students. You should have no personal agendas, but the agenda you have is what's best educationally for the students and what's fair in terms of balancing the money of the taxpayers. So there's a lot of things you got to factor in, but it starts out with focusing on what's best for students.
And I'll echo that as well. And as I look at you guys, I see leaders, you're put together, Ava, Marley, Duncan, and Hudson. Just so proud of y'all. It takes a lot of courage to get up and speak. And so maybe you are future school board trustees. You never know, or something even greater, much greater than what we get the opportunity to do. But I will say, this has been the absolute greatest blessing to be able to serve students and staff, teachers. It's such an honor and a blessing. I don't ever take it for granted. So if you feel a little nudge in your heart, always feel free to come ask us questions. We are friends. We want to be your friends. And so we can help, walk alongside you and make dreams and just be there with you to champion you in whatever you do. So thank y'all for coming tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's give them a round of applause. At this time, I'd like to invite Madam President, our trustees, and Dr. Kraft to join me on the floor for our commendations. We're very excited to celebrate several outstanding students and staff this evening, and we'd love for you to stay until the end so every honoree feels that Bernie love and support. Thanks for being here tonight. Our first commendation, we're proudly recognizing Champion High School student Elisa DePablo for creating Charger Book Buddies, a program that unites high school students with elementary students and fosters a love of reading. This initiative reflects her innovative thinking, leadership, and persistence in mentoring young learners. We are incredibly proud of her. Let's give her a round of applause. Next up, congratulations to the Champion High School Welding Ag Mechanics team for earning the overall reserve grand champion of show at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. The team designed and built a mobile dipping vat semi-trailer, an innovative project that supports the cattle industry. Congratulations. Let's give them a round of applause. Again, congratulations. Now we proudly commend the Business Professionals of America students from Champion High School for being selected as state and national qualifiers at their recent competition. The team demonstrated excellence across a range of events. Congratulations on this outstanding achievement. Let's give them a round of applause. Next, we're excited to celebrate the district champions from Bernie High School, the Blue Stockings cast and crew, for their outstanding performance at the District 25 5A one-act play contest. Their dedication, teamwork, and powerful storytelling earn them top honors and reflect the strength of their entire production. Congratulations on this well-deserved achievement. Let's give them one more round of applause. Thank you to the many high school student leaders who support BOA, directors and coordinators with the Bernie Outdoor Academy. BOA is a 3-day learning experience designed for 5th grade students in Bernie ISD. High school juniors and seniors serve as official student leaders, modeling leadership, responsibility, and service. Many of these students once participated in BOA as 5th graders themselves and now return dedicated to creating a meaningful experience for the next generation of learners. Congratulations. Let's give them a round of applause. Next up, we'd like to recognize the BOA directors for their outstanding leadership and commitment to the Bernie Outdoor Academy. As teachers serving in this role, their dedication, care, and steady leadership help ensure BOA is a safe, engaging, and impactful learning experience for all students. Let's give them a round of applause. Let's give them one more round of applause. And last but certainly not least, we'd like to recognize the BOA coordinators for their thoughtful design and continued stewardship of the Bernie Outdoor Academy. This program began in 1997 through intentional planning and a deep understanding of student learning. They shape a meaningful experience for every 5th grade student in Bernie ISD. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you very much. Madam President, trustees, and Dr. Kraft, it is an honor to recognize this month's core values in action recipients. We are proud to recognize the Bernie ISD Teaching and Learning Team for exemplifying all of the Bernie ISD's core values. Where are they? Oh, come on up. And they're hidden somewhere in the audience. At this time, our Chief Instructional Officer, Larissa Flores, will share a few words.
Yes, I'd like to take a moment to recognize our teaching and learning team. They're a rowdy bunch. So our teaching and learning team for consistently exemplifying our district's core values each day. They bring to life every child every day, respectful relationships, excellence through integrity, and commitment to service through their work, collaboration, and dedication to supporting both students and staff. Serving as a vital support system for our campuses, this team partners closely with teachers and administrators while keeping students at the center of every decision. Their efforts ensure access to high-quality curriculum alongside strong, effective instruction, with a direct impact seen in classrooms across the district, and it is an honor and a privilege to work side by side with them every day. This team's work is both specialized and essential, and it is their collective commitment that drives our district's success. We are grateful for the meaningful difference they make every day in Boerne ISD. So I'd like to recognize Jane Burton, Brett Bunker, Natalie Ferry, Triana Fontecha, Leanne Giesler, Valeria Gonzalez, Renee Munn, Judy Noland, Nora Pedraza, Amanda Pelletier, Chrissy Poulos, Chris Prince, Todd Rust, Carrie Sparkman, Kim Stewart, Rhonda Vulgaris, and Heather Willis. Teaching and learning.
And one more really big round of applause. This concludes our commendations for this evening. Madam President, trustees, and Dr. Kraft, please make your way back to your seats behind the dais. Tonight's Boerne Education Foundation Wow Moment takes us to Cibolo Creek Elementary, home of the Cubs. Thanks to a BEF grant, students are being creative with chomp saws. Take a look at this video.
Hi, my name's Bridget. Welcome to Cibolo Creek Elementary. Today's wow moment will be in Ms. Herb's and Ms. Krause's classrooms, where students are being creative with chomp saws and beaver bots.
We received a BEF grant for a beaver bot to use in our classroom. This is going to help our kids be able to create and imagine and be able to put things together in a way that brings out all of their artistic talents.
I received 2 chomp saws from BEF to use in our GT classrooms. They really have just opened up the kids' design possibilities, giving them a safe hands-on experience, and just really making more creative builds.
Thank you to our donors for supporting our great ideas and for allowing our students to be creative.
Thank you, BEF.
Thank you for supporting every student, every teacher, and every school in Boerne ISD.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Reyna. All right, up next we have visitor comments and testimonials. And we do have someone signed up today. The board encourages comments about the district from citizens of the district or from district employees. Anyone wishing to speak, either as an individual or as a representative of a group, may do so at this time. The board asks that each participant's comments pertain to public education and be no longer than 3 minutes. Remember that the board may not discuss or act upon any issues that are not posted on our agenda. If an issue mentioned is listed on tonight's agenda, the board will defer discussion of the issue until the appropriate time during the meeting. The board encourages the public to discuss concerns with an appropriate administrator who has the authority to address the concerns. Concerns should be expressed as soon as possible to allow early resolution at the lowest possible administrative level. Finally, please be aware that the rules of decorum will be enforced during the public comment period and throughout the meeting. Disruptive behavior will not be tolerated. Those who choose to engage in disruptive behavior may be asked to leave. Each participant is legally responsible for the content and consequences of his or her own statements. Copies of our district policy on public participation in meetings can be found on our website. And with that being said, we would like to invite Rebecca Whiting to the podium.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, and Dr. Kraft. My name is Rebecca Whiting, and my husband is Rocky Whiting. We currently have 4 children who attend Bernie ISD and reside at 114 Dodge Road. I want to share how current school zones in North being closed to transfers affects my family in a negative way. Our education with the district began 9 years ago. Although my husband was a Bernie class of 2000 graduate, we were fully aware that based on where we lived, we would go to Kendall, South, and Champion, and we accepted it. Fast forward to the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, we received an email that our elementary school would be rezoned from Kendall to Fabra. There was a lot of parent concern by many parents in our area, including us, because there was no mention of the secondary schools being rezoned. I reached out to Bernie ISD and expressed concern over not changing the secondary zones. I was told, and I have written documentation, if you go to Fabra, you will go to North and Bernie. My oldest son began middle school in the year 2023. Despite being told that we would attend North, upon registration I was told I would need to request a transfer and have to give up busing to do so. An in-school field trip to North solidified my son's desire to go to North. In 2023, they did not offer him an in-school field trip to tour South. Thankfully, the transfer request was submitted and approved easily. After attending North, we are now fully invested in being Greyhounds. My incoming 6th grader daughter, Audrey, wants to follow the same path as her brother. I have expressed concern through many phone calls and emails to the district, and I have been pushed off and been given vague and unclear answers. I sent an email 21 days ago requesting a phone call or meeting that might clear things up. Finally today, I was able to get a meeting scheduled with Dr. O'Hare for this Friday. But a failure to fully communicate with me brings me here tonight. It is a detriment to my child to not give her continuity in her education. In her years at Fabra, she has built school pride for the Greyhounds. She has established friendships with students attending North. Geographically, it makes sense for her to go to middle school 800 yards from our elementary school. This zoning conflict is detrimental to and affects my entire family. My son, who currently attends North, has chosen Bernie High School for high school. If my daughter is forced to South, then I'm faced with breaking up her education, her friendships, and her school pride she builds as a charger in order to have my 2 high schoolers together at the same school. I provide my children with a stable home with stable conditions, and I'm disappointed that Bernie ISD fails to do the same with their education. There is no stability in sending my kids to an elementary and then ripping them away from their school community, and even worse, splitting up my own family's camaraderie apart. It is my desire that Bernie ISD make it right and allow her to attend North. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is consider action, if any, regarding items discussed in closed session. We have, first of all, we have a request for approval of routine personnel items.
I move that the Board of Trustees approve the personnel report and contract recommendations as presented by administration, including the issuing of employment contracts to campus administrators, campus professional staff, and district professional staff at coordinator level and below for the 2026-27 school year as discussed in closed session.
I have a motion by Courtney Daughter Bruce,
Second.
second by Carlin Fryer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we have consider probationary contract termination at end of year for teacher.
Madam President, a motion for the Board of Trustees to find that it is in the best interest of the district to terminate the 25-26 contract of Christina Borges Leron at the end of the 25-26 contract term and direct the superintendent to notify the employee that her employment is terminated effective May 22nd, 2026.
Thank you. I have a motion by Garrett Wilson,
Second.
second by Carlin Fryer. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Up next, we have the consent agenda to approve. I would like to point out that we were able to add to the 2026-2027 high school course catalog, the Theater 3 and 4 classes to follow Theater 1 and 2.
With that said, I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Motion by Courtney Daughter Bruce.
Be to approve the consent agenda.
My apologies.
Oh, yes.
To approve the consent agenda. I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion by Courtney Daughter Bruce, second by Carlin Fryer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. All right, up next is governance, and we have board training hours report, which I will be reading. It's information only. The State Board of Education requires continuing education each year of service for all sitting board members as basic obligation and expectation. As board president, I'm required to announce the name of each member who, as of that member's anniversary of election or appointment to the board, has completed, exceeded, or is deficient in meeting the required continuing education. BISD board members Courtney Daughter Bruce, Sarah Falkenberry, Carlin Fryer, Dallas Pipes, Rich Senna, Garrett Wilson, and myself, Christy Schmidt, have met or exceeded their required training hours in all categories. Great job, board. I know we spend a lot of time at Tallahassee and SLI and Holdsworth, and some of y'all were at Tapatio, so I know everybody takes their continuing education very seriously, and we spend, as we were talking with our students earlier, we spend a lot of time with that, so great job. And we will go ahead with board member reports.
Gonna start?
Sure.
Okay, we had the program evaluation committee. As always, great meeting. Thank you, Ms. Flores, for leading that. We talked about instructional elementary framework recommendations, and I believe that was Mr. Ladiolas and Ms. Galt, right, that led that. So big thanks to the two principals who helped. That was a huge process, and I mean, I think it seems like it turned out really well here. So appreciate y'all's leadership on that. A district-wide committee of over 30 members representing all campuses and grade levels and led by the two campus principals reviewed our current instructional framework to address several key priorities. Those were intervention time to ensure sufficient time for dyslexia and early literacy interventions to accelerate student process. Also, there were legislative changes, and we aligned our practices with new state requirements impacting instructional time, PE, and recess. And then also dual language support. We provided, there was appropriate daily time or evaluated appropriate daily time for the English language development to strengthen language acquisition in dual language programs. And so I thought that was really good work in terms of how much English and how much Spanish, and the percentage of each as they go through the grade levels. That was really taking a hard look at to just make sure that those kids are really putting the best in those classes. The dual language programs are really put in the best position to succeed. Over several months, like I said, it was an exhaustive process, including dual language subcommittee work. The group gathered feedback and refined recommendations. These recommendations were approved by the executive leadership team on March 30th with a planned 2-year rollout to ensure smooth implementation across all campuses. And so there was kind of some big decisions made there, and they'll get rolled out over the next 2 years. We also looked at the middle school TSIA results. A review of the middle school TSIA 2 reading data was presented as part of BISD's College Readiness Framework, which prepares students for post-secondary success. 8th graders take the TSIA 2 reading test. Teachers support students through preparation, tutoring, and opportunities for retesting. Results were shared by campus to provide insight into student performance and readiness. We also talked about the summer school programming for 2026. And new initiatives will focus on addressing student reading levels through targeted interventions designed to accelerate learning and support academic growth. And then summer schools will be held at Bernie High School for secondary students and CSS for elementary students, or Currington Elementary School for elementary students beginning on June 1st. So that was a summary of what we talked about. Great meeting. Thanks for everybody that was involved, and looking forward to the next one.
Okay, the Facilities Committee meeting we held on April 9th. There were 4 items on the agenda. The first one was we received a presentation from Alamo Architects regarding the plans for improvements and modifications at Middle School South. It'll take a phased approach. There'll be 3 phases, starting in June with opening the bids, and then construction will begin in August. be completed, I believe, by the end of the year with the 3 different phases. The updates will include accessibility to various classrooms, the fine arts section, acoustic and lighting improvements to classrooms, fine arts, restrooms, and also the serving lines at the cafeteria, which are definitely in need of improvement. So as I mentioned, there are 3 phases, and then it should be completed by the end of the year. Number 2, Mr. Guerrero mentioned that every year we do an annual inspection of our stadium to make sure that it's structurally sound, safe, and in compliance. So that will continue, and the findings are documented and given to ensure that compliance requirements are met. And Mr. Guerrero also gave an update on the bond, 22 bond. The overwhelming majority of projects are completed. We've come in under budget on 31 out of 32 projects, which is good. And then he discussed a very sentimental issue at Bernie High School regarding the brick wall on Bentwood Drive as you're coming into one of the entrances to the high school. It's in serious need of repair. And so the district and his team are evaluating options that best balance, the preservation and the appearance of that, marking of welcoming to the campus. It's beautiful. And there's that nice purple welded thing that one of my neighbors developed, like, I don't know how many years ago, a long time ago. Mike's 90 now, so, I mean, it must have been a long time ago. So that's just the update for the Facilities Committee.
I'll have an update for the systems of care in May. Nothing to report tonight.
Thank you. Our PTO presidents met. We had a very productive meeting. Dr. Kraft gave the group district updates. Mrs. Munn spoke about elementary instructional framework. Ms. Pomori gave some capturing kids' hearts information and talked about the 7 showcase schools. Dr. O'Hare shared some summer school information. Some important dates are all the PTOs are gearing up for Teacher Appreciation Week, which is May 4th through 8th. Our graduation walks will be May 18th. And on May 1st is when the board here will host the PTO boards as for an appreciation breakfast here at Central Office. That's all for PTO, but on behalf of BEF, since Sarah Falkenberry isn't here, we would just like to share that on behalf of BEF, thank you to everyone who supported Rock On. BEF raised almost $350,000 that goes right back into our school. So thank you for your support.
We had the Technology Committee meeting on April 7th. I want to give a really big shout out to Mr. Lopez for stepping up into a role that was much needed, and Mrs. Wolf as well. We have a lot of people that are stepping up into capacities that are just really impressive to see them grow in their leadership capacity. This meeting was basically to look over the network service refresh, just to kind of give you all an idea what that looks like. That's coming out of the 22 bond. That was a $4.7 million project. That is going to modernize the district-wide technology infrastructure. I know we have some principals here, so you'll be happy to hear. The installation of new wireless access points, installation of battery backup systems, installation of new Cisco switches throughout. So basically what that will mean is better internet connectivity throughout the district. We're looking forward to seeing high-speed performance increases, and I knew network speed, security, and operational continuity. So hopefully this brings us back up to speed until the internet passes us.
I'll report on a couple of committee meetings. The first one's short and sweet. Last week we held our Safety and Security Committee meeting. Obviously, with the nature of what gets discussed, there's not a lot of minutes that get disclosed about that, but I do want to say thank you very much to our partners that join us in that with the Sheriff's Department, Kendall County Sheriff's Department, Fair Oaks Ranch PD, Bernie PD, Sisterdale Fire, and Bernie Fire. So Mr. Goodrich leads that committee. Thank you for what you do. Mr. Davis was there, and Mr. Patton, I guess he's gone. But that was one of our required safety and security meetings for the year. Last week, we also had a board finance committee meeting. We discussed 4 topics primarily. We went over the quarterly investment report that was just approved with the consent agenda. District's investment portfolios around $115 million as of the end of March, yielding 3.93%. Year-to-date earnings totaled approximately $3.3 million while maintaining the higher priorities of safety and liquidity. We did a review of the utilities, or short review of the utilities for the Aquatics Learning Center. We will, obviously it's a new facility that's just been opened, and so Mr. Guerrero, Mr. Scott went over just a brief review of what the utilities would look like, and we'll obviously have to have a full year to kind of work on or understand the trends for that. Wanted to recognize Mr. Scott. He was selected to participate in a statewide network group addressing what's known as hold harmless funding challenges in school finance. One of 4 CFOs of school districts across the state that were selected to participate in that. Certainly underscores your leadership, Mr. Scott, and the district's role in evaluating and elevating these issues up to the state leadership and helping to shape potential solutions. And then last, we talked about, just as we're coming into, I guess, the 4th of our budget committee meetings, Mr. Scott provided a budget update focused on the financial report for the current year, or financial performance for the current year. We'll continue proactively planning to manage cost pressures and ensuring long-term financial stability while supporting key priorities. So thank you, Mr. Scott. That wraps up that.
I'd like to add to what Mr. Fryer shared about Mr. Scott regarding the statewide group and the hold harmless funding situation. This is a huge issue in the legislature. It's been Band-Aid on top of Band-Aid on top of Band-Aid over many years, and the legislature would like to find a way out without harming school districts. And many districts across the state relied on the homework that Mr. Scott did to bring this to light to legislative leaders. And what could have been definitely a negative thing to Bernie ISD was avoided through his homework and his leadership, and has earned the gratitude of a lot of districts across the state. So really a big deal. And it's a good testimony to our district, because I think we're pretty well known in Austin for our advocacy. And it's nice to be one of the first districts that gets called when legislators have issues. So I kudos to Mr. Scott for that.
Real quick, in Sarah's absence tonight, I want to make sure we touch on the School Health Advisory Council Committee. So I'm just going to read the meeting notes. I was not in attendance, but these meeting notes seem thorough, and I would like to highlight them tonight for you. The School Health Advisory Council, which the acronym for it is SHAC, met on April 7th and reviewed the final draft of its position statement regarding recess in Bernie ISD. The statement recommends that students in PK through 5, 5th grade, receive 30 minutes of unstructured recess 5 days a week to support physical activity, social development, and overall well-being. It also affirms that recess should not be withheld as a disciplinary consequence, recognizing the importance of daily movement and play for all students. In addition, SHAC members participated in a menu sampling hosted by SFE, featuring proposed breakfast and lunch additions for the 2026-2027 school year. Both student and adult participants sampled a variety of items and provided feedback using a rating rubric. This input will help inform future menu planning and support student-centered meal offerings across the district. The SHAC will resume meetings in September of next school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Courtney. Okay, up next we have reports, district updates by Dr. Kraft.
Thank you, President Schmidt. Every month you get a report of our enrollment, and so as of last Friday, we were at 11,183. And tonight you're going to be hearing 2 reports, one on our Pathways to Technical Early College High School, and also a report on family engagement efforts. And just to give you a few recent highlights of really fascinating things that have been happening across the district. As y'all know, we're in the middle of STAR testing. And so the first week went very well. This is our second week. Our principals shared that those are the best attendance days. So we're thankful for that. And then they're also very creative with the littles going on field trips. So it helps keep the staff focused for those who are all testing. I learned that we have Red Cross clubs at both of our high schools. And I was invited to the Stop the Bleed training at Champion High School. We had a full library full of kiddos who are learning how to stop the bleed with a first aid treatment. And so that training also carried over to Bernie High School. Our seniors in our P-TECH programs, they're finalizing coursework and projects to ensure they're on track to graduate with their associate's degree. Again, our partners are Northwest Vista and San Antonio colleges, and we will make sure, or Alamo colleges, excuse me, and we'll make sure that we get you those invites if you'd like to join us to be a part of what it's like to celebrate our seniors who are getting their associate's degree. It's very exciting. Our art show, if you haven't been by the library, I encourage you to do so before the end of April. We have fantastic artwork throughout the library, and a big shout out to our art teachers for all they have done to just instill the inspiration for art across all grade levels. It's inspiring. This Saturday, we had a really special event here at Central Office called the Starry Start for our incoming kindergartners. And so I know Ms. Pomeroy will share a little bit about that. But we, despite the weather, we still had about 50 families arrive and experience a little bit of kindergarten. And so that was a lot of fun. We have began our Teacher Incentive Allotment Committee. Over the past year and a half, we have been talking quite a bit about teacher incentive allotment. In the fall, Ms. Rhodes-Pruin went to every campus and did staff meetings. Then we have now followed it up to form a working committee that will explore TIA again and what the application for Bernie ISD could look like. So it is a full room. We have representation from every campus and all of our programs to make sure that we have a robust and thorough discussion and plan. And just to end with a couple special things that happened this weekend, our Rocketeers robotics team was at state competition. They did very, very well. And our Catherine Garver, who you all met at State of the District, she received a leadership award. And so she will be going to the world competition, which happens to be in Houston. So, but that's May 1st. But again, she's being recognized for her leadership in promoting STEM initiatives across our schools and for being very inspirational with the STEM and robotics team at Champion High School. And then I had the pleasure of going to the Starlight Ball on Friday evening at First Baptist Church. That is a wonderful event that really speaks to the spirit of Bernie when we think about serving students from all walks of life. And I want to thank Garrett for being there. He was one of the chaperones that paired up with a student. And many of my student advisors were there also paired up with a student. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful event. And just kudos to First Baptist Church and everyone who's involved with Starlight Ball. It was a fantastic event. And I was very pleased to be there. Mr. Senna, you also stopped by.
Yes, and I would say in watching all the volunteer work that went into that event, the love that was shown to these kids and the adults that were special that night, it meant a lot to them, it meant a lot to their families, and to me, that was Bernie at its best. That was Bernie at its best.
And as a reminder, we have our next budget workshop on May 4th. That concludes my report.
Dr. Crow, I was just going to comment real quick. When I think back to the interview process when we were interviewing you, the very first interview, we talked about the teacher incentive allotment, and none of us really knew anything about it. But when you came back for your second interview, you had done a bunch of homework and research about it. And so to see that now we've got the committee formed, we're in the beginning stages of getting it implemented, I think just goes to show your leadership and that we don't rest on the laurels and find ways to improve every day. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kraft. We have Instruction Strategic Plan Goal 1, Pathways to Technology Early College P-TECH report by Ms. Pullis.
Good evening, members of the board, Dr. Kraft, thank you for having me. Tonight I will review our Pathways in Technology Early College High School programs. Everything that I speak about tonight will tie directly into our district scorecard, specifically under student success. It is our goal that by 2028, 100% of our students graduate meeting CCMR, and our P-TECH programs tie directly into that goal. We have 2 P-TECH programs in Bernie ISD. The first one is a P-TECH in Health Science, located at Bernie High School, partnered with San Antonio College. The second one is our P-TECH in Cybersecurity, located at Champion High School and partnered with Northwest Vista College. A special thank you to Ms. Courtney Darter Bruce and Mr. Dallas Pipes for your support and serving on those 2 advisory committees. Tonight I will review House Bill 3 and CCMR. I will review the outcome-based measures that measure the success of our P-TECH programs, and then review some data specific to each program. CCMR really contributes to our district's accountability system, and it's a blend. P-TECH programs are a blend between the college readiness and the career readiness aspects of CCMR. So obviously under career readiness, we have our advanced academics, and then under under college readiness, we have our advanced academics, and under career readiness, we have our CTE programs of study, and the P-TECH program blends those 2. Our P-TECH programs are measured based on what we call outcome-based measures. It is important to note that P-TECH programs are designed to target a population of students that might not otherwise be able to obtain college degrees or have obstacles in reaching those goals. And for our programs to be successful, we need to meet these outcome-based measures in access, achievement, and attainment. So under access, we just want to make sure that these programs are open to all students in our district, not just a select population. And then in order to reach our distinguished level of achievement, we need to meet at least 3 criteria in each of the other 2 assessments, so achievement and attainment. Our programs are very popular. About 21% of our rising 9th graders are selecting a P-TECH program of study, whether that be cybersecurity or health science. And if you add our incoming counts, we are looking at about 700 students enrolled in these 2 programs of study next year. Specifically looking at our cybersecurity program of study, our students are working towards an Associate of Science in Cybersecurity and Information Assurances, again partnered with NBC. And our first cohort of students are current seniors. Those students have earned over 2,500 college credit hours. Our juniors have earned over 1,400, of course, all the way down to our freshmen that have earned 96 college credit hours. That number will increase as the semester ends, giving us a grand total of over 4,500 credit hours just in our cyber P-TECH program. Not all OBMs or outcome-based measures are calculated right now. Some of these figures lag a year. For instance, our associate's degrees, we will not report those till the end of this year, so those will not be calculated until next year. But we are on track to reach the distinction designation in all 3 areas of reporting for our cyber P-TECH program. A few highlights. This year we do have 36 students graduating with their associate's degree. Graduation will be May 18th at Northwest Vista campus, and those 36 seniors are also sitting for their IBCs in the coming weeks. In total, we have saved our families over $540,000 in dual credit alone, plus the $29,000 with IBC testing prep material and the IBC testing vouchers. Part of the P-TECH program includes a summer bridge opportunity for our students. This opportunity engages students in a hands-on experience and provides insight into the field of study. This year, our summer bridge program will be a 3-day event. Day 1 will be at Champion High School. Day 2 will be spent at the Northwest Vista campus. And then day 3 is a field trip to the San Antonio Museum of Science and Technology. Transitioning over to our P-TECH in Health Science, students in that program are working towards an Associate of Science, partnered with San Antonio College. Our first cohort of students are only in their 2nd year, so they're sophomores this year. We did have a few students that joined late in the program, and those 2 students are seniors this year, one of which is graduating with their associate's degree. The other one does plan on continuing their education at SAC after graduation. Between those 2 seniors, they have completed 81 college credit hours. And then you can see our actual first cohort is class of 2028, have earned over 1,700 college credit hours. And of course, these numbers will increase as the semester concludes. Because health science is only in its 2nd year of existence, the only OBM or outcome-based measure that we are calculating right now is the access. and we are on track to reach the distinction designation. Of course, we do feel confident that when the other OBMs are calculated, we will also reach that distinction in health science. A few highlights. We do, like I said, have one student graduating with their associate's degree this year. That graduation ceremony is at the Alamo Dome on May 20th. Also, we have an awards night on April 30th. It's specifically for our Cohort 1 students. 36 of the Cohort 1 students are on the President's List for fall of 2025. In order to be considered for this honor, students must have taken a minimum of 6 college credit hours and maintained a 4.0. We also have 16 additional students who made the Dean's List. To be on the Dean's List, you must have maintained a 3.5 GPA, taking 6 or more college credit hours. So this is a total of about 66% of Cohort 1 students that took 6 or more college credit hours, earning an honorary distinction. That's remarkable. Wanted to make sure I shared that with you guys tonight. As of right now, we've saved our families about $310,000. That's dual credit alone. We have not really started the IBC testing with that cohort of students yet. Our summer bridge for our health science students, our rising freshmen will stay at Bernie High School and work through various stations. First responders, San Antonio College advising will be there. We will have a student panel. Our rising sophomores will actually spend the day at University Hospital, and then our rising juniors will participate in the UIW Health Professionals Day. And then just in wrapping up, just to highlight everything that we do with these two programs really does tie directly into our core values and really setting the students up for success after graduation. Any questions?
I have more comments, but I do have a couple questions. First comment, thank you so much for your leadership in this and for the principals behind you. Their involvement in these programs and the success has been really, really remarkable. I love hearing the numbers. We're all numbers people up here. So we're in here $500,000, 300. Question with that. The certifications that we get, especially on the computer side of things, the security side, are those added in there? Because I know some of those certifications are really hard to either achieve or get the hours to get there. Is that calculated in that?
In the dollar amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So that dollar amount included the test prep that we've paid for this year in gearing up for those tests, and then the vouchers for those students to test.
Awesome. Thank you. The other question I had was on the health science. The enrollment, what we had for projections of what we had, as far as attendance, where do we see? Are we hitting those projections? Are we over? Are we under?
We are definitely hitting our targets on the health science projection. That program is very popular, and we have avoided having to worry about a lottery, but we've been able to accept everyone that has applied, but those numbers are very close to capacity. Yeah.
A couple things. Echo thanks, gratitude for all that y'all do. I think the addition of counselors to our P-TECH programs has been huge, and I can personally testify just the attention and time that these counselors provide support. I know that's been a huge asset for the programs, and with your leadership and theirs, it truly does make students feel like they're not going to miss something. This is a lot for kids to wrap their heads around, and even parents, but I will testify personally, I felt fully supported. I have a daughter in the P-TECH program who's a freshman, and you can ask Mr. Wilson. She was not crazy about this because she was afraid she would feel left behind with her fellow classmates, but this program is fully integrated into the school. The students feel that they can still be these Bernie Greyhounds, and they're going to mix and mingle with their classmates and still be on track to pursue their dreams and their career goals and all of that. And also, my daughter having a physical challenge of vasovagal, and she's in this health science program. We didn't realize she had this situation until just recently, and just being able to walk alongside her with the counselor and find a way. You are living out the core values of every student every day. And I appreciate that. Every child, every day, that was magnified to me with seeing my own daughter just walk through this program. But again, to reemphasize, we do appreciate the support that these counselors are providing to make sure our students are getting all their needs met and making sure they're signed up for the right classes. So thank you for your support and theirs.
Thank you.
Yes.
I would echo what both Dallas and Courtney shared. Take a little bit of a different approach. I mean, it looks like we're on our way to having, over 550 students at the health careers and about 150 in the P-TECH. Before, they're housed in the new wings at each school. And essentially our high schools were full just about 100% of capacity. So instead of building a third comprehensive high school with all the operational costs associated with that, the decision was made to add a new wing to each school. There was the space for that. It was a fraction of the cost of building a new high school, a fraction, probably an eighth or a ninth of the cost. But more importantly, it gave more academic options to our students. Just the savings, we're approaching $1 million of savings. This is real money to our families, you know, and I think it's great that we have these options available. It's interesting to see where we're going to be, you know, 5 years, 10 years down the road. Will there be additional P-TECs, or what are the possibilities? So I'm glad we moved in this direction, and mostly because it really just has a lot of benefits for our kids.
I'd be interested to see where that metric comes. How many years do we have P-TECs before they paid for themselves?
Good question.
Great presentation. Thank you very much. Up next, we have Student Support Services, Strategic Plan Goal 4, Engagement by Ms. Pomeroy.
Good evening, President Schmidt, trustees, Dr. Kraft, and members of the Bernie ISD community. Thank you for the opportunity tonight to present on family engagement and some of the initiatives we have in our district. As you know, these are our strategic goals for our district. Tonight, again, I'll be focusing on family engagement and the new ways that we're engaging families within our community. The Texas Education Agency defines family engagement as a shared responsibility among families, schools, and communities to support student learning, achievement, and well-being. It emphasizes strong partnerships between all of these stakeholders. TEA promotes a doing with approach, meaning schools and families collaborate as equal partners rather than working separately. Meaningful family engagement helps create pathways for student success from early childhood through graduation and into college, career, or military readiness. It also values each family's unique culture, language, and background while building positive connections to education. This year, our district has created new opportunities for families to engage in their child's education and schools. Tonight, I'll highlight individual planning, Bright Beginnings, and supports that help students successfully transition between grade levels and schools. Bernie ISD has created systems to ensure students receive ongoing support with individual planning throughout their educational journey. We are strategically increasing opportunities for families to be fully engaged in this process by offering presentations starting in December, where students and families can tour campuses, explore programs, review course catalogs, and participate in question and answer sessions. We then meet individually with every student in grades 5 through 11 to guide academic decision-making, with evening and weekend opportunities for parents to collaborate and participate. Family access has also been enhanced through the Skyward platform, allowing families to view course selections, four-year graduation plans, and student schedules. All of these efforts are designed to build strong partnerships that support our children. This data reflects the commitment, time, and attention our staff gives to providing personalized support that often goes above and beyond expectations. With a team of only 18 secondary counselors, we were able to meet individually with 6,202 students between January and March, one-on-one. We also hosted 31 information sessions for families and students, with 16 of those events taking place after school hours or on the weekends. This total does not include additional family conferences scheduled with deans or counselors. These efforts demonstrate our dedication to building strong relationships and helping every single student plan for their success. Speaking of relationships, we know that when students walk through our doors, we have an opportunity to inspire a love of learning and build trust with families through meaningful connections. In March, every single elementary campus hosted a pre-K and kindergarten welcome event where principals provided campus overviews, tours, and special activities that highlighted each school's unique culture. This past weekend, we hosted our first Starry Start event, welcoming 50 families for a fun and engaging launch into learning. Families had opportunities to walk onto a bus, go through the lunch line, receive registration assistance, connect with community nonprofits, interact with mascots, and participate in learning activities led by our teaching and learning staff. These experiences allowed families to explore everything from our transportation services to classroom learning and a welcoming, stress-free environment. While events such as the Starry Start help ease the transition into school, we recognize that every stage of a student's journey across grade levels, campuses, programs, and post-secondary pathways can bring new challenges and questions. This year, we expanded our efforts by offering nearly 30 new family and student sessions designated to prepare families for next steps in their educational journey. These included evening opportunities such as our Dyslexia and Neurodivergent Night, P-TECH program tours, FAFSA parent nights, and college fairs, each focused on increasing access, awareness, and readiness for any of their future pathways. Each experience is intentionally designed to empower families with information, guidance, and confidence as they navigate important decisions together. We know our work is never done, and we remain committed to finding new ways to engage and connect with families through committee participation, surveys, and meaningful involvement activities. We recently launched Family University, a 24/7 online platform that provides a growing library of resources, literature, and short videos on topics important to families. These resources will continue to expand based on family feedback and identified needs. We are also grateful to have opened our Care and Share Center, which supports families by providing access to basic needs during hardship or crisis. In addition, thanks to a generous grant from Bernie Paint and Covenant Construction, Phase 2 of renovations are underway to create a new college and career center offering individualized planning, career exploration, job assistance, counseling, and extended hours for students and families to engage together. And you can see the photo, and it's actually happening, and it looks just like that. From bright beginnings to individual planning, our focus remains clear, supporting every student every day through intentional connections, personalized guidance, and meaningful family partnerships. We believe strong beginnings bring strong futures. Individual planning creates clear pathways and meaningful partnerships that last a lifetime. As we move forward, we remain committed to strengthening these systems so that every student is known, supported, and prepared for success for school and beyond. And with that, I'll open it up to discussion.
I have to say thank you. And your team, I know, worked tirelessly. I feel like I'm always running into something that you have your hand on, so thank you so much. Whether it be a Thursday night or Thursday morning, I'm packing bags or for blessings in a backpack, or the Starry Start. I had people messaging me that hadn't talked with me in a while, and they were just so appreciative of their child being seen and being able to get their impression of the district in that way. I did not experience it, so if you need someone to be in the Henry costume next time, let me know. I'm down. But I want to see, that I think is the right idea of what we want Bernie ISD to be, and for these kids to get that start and that feeling of what the district, what their school experience is going to be. I'm really proud of that. So thank you so much for being that. And I hope we get to continue that. 50 students is good, but I'd love to see what that grows into. But I'm definitely going to be a supporter of that moving forward. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
I've seen the direction that our systems of care and our student support services have grown over the past 2 years, and it's very evident that they've grown tremendously. And I think my kids are at the age where they've gotten to experience a lot of the things that you just talked about, and it makes a huge difference. Like when I go to the high school and I see counselors, meeting one-on-one with every single student. And I did have the opportunity to go to Starry Starts, and you should be very jealous that you didn't get to go. It was whoever's collaboration of ideas this was, it was awesome. And I think we could even do it better where we could have more families. It was very rainy and there was lots of things going on, but for our kindergartners to be able to go through the cafeteria line and get on the big school bus, and every department had an activity for these kids to get them excited about their careers, and they got to try on costumes of different career opportunities that they might want to be one day, and the whole thing was just incredible. So thank y'all.
Yes, it was a collaboration again, and taking feedback from families, what they need. So yeah, it was great.
It does show your commitment, just I was writing that down, 18 counselors, and it was January through March, 6,202 students. And I love that even that 2 students, it made the count. Every student matters, and that's a lot of time that you poured in. And that is not just during your 8-hour workday either. That is after hours. And so that does not go unnoticed or unappreciated. So that's huge. Thank you.
Great team.
Yes, y'all do. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a huge increase in outreach over the last few years. It's really, and it's outstanding. You have night events, weekend events. Of course, people are working, extra hours. Are we getting good turnouts at these events?
Yes. And so one of the things that we've noticed is that we're doing so much on the campus that maybe some of the evening and weekend events aren't as attended as greatly as, we would anticipate, but it's because their needs are being met. We're doing that individualized attention on the campus, and the counselors are being accessible, or the deans are being accessible. So we've actually had some conversations about flipping some of the events. An example would be this weekend's Starry Start. It could be our launch, right? Where everybody comes and they get those experiences, and then we assign them to their campuses. So getting feedback like that. But I will say our weekend events and our evening events, we've had a couple evening events where there's such great attendance that we've had to kind of restructure live and in person in that moment, and kind of rally how can we do this differently and make sure that we're getting the family's needs met. We're hoping that as we have more extended hours through our Care and Share Center and our College and Career Center, that it's just a regular ongoing thing. It's not limited between December and March, but it's just becoming part of our practice. But yes, we've never had an event where we've had fewer than 30 people, and so it's always been very successful and beneficial.
And I would imagine the nights and weekends, there's more parents that.
Correct. They come with their student, and that's been a wonderful opportunity just for them to learn. It's also benefited us in seeing the value to the family's input and the collaboration and kind of that partnership between the school and the family, and that families ultimately have the greatest influence over their children. They're their greatest advocate who will be with them throughout their whole life. And so empowering them with information and helping them make decisions, and really Bernie values family and values the partnership. And so making those opportunities where parents can participate, we need to find those moments in time.
And one more question, the FAFSA nights. I'd like to learn a little more about that. I'm familiar with it when my kids went through college, but I know there are parents that are not particularly familiar with it. So tell us about how that evening went.
With which night?
The FAFSA.
The FAFSA night. So FAFSA over the past few years has changed in the application process, the deadlines, the online platforms. And so we often have partners from UTSA or the Alamo Colleges or even Schreiner University that come down, and they actually walk the parents through the process, and they'll sit with them while they're doing the financial aid application for college, because it is an expectation that students complete the FAFSA prior to graduation. It actually goes on their transcript, and it can be an overwhelming process. The system has been streamlined and is a little bit more efficient, but sometimes it just takes somebody sitting next to you kind of coaching you along and helping you navigate the new systems. And so we do have partners that come and assist families with that, or we can connect them with community members that will assist them. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
It's great. It can be intimidating.
Yes,
as I've done
it
it
can be.
4 times in the past 2 years.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Actions, business, monthly financial report, and board action on financial matters directly related to those reports. Mr. Scott.
Good evening, everyone. You've received the monthly financial reports for the period ending March 31, 2026. That includes the budgetary comparison report. Everything in that report for the revenues and expenditures for all funds are within budgeted expectations at this point in time. It includes the budget amendment report. There are no budget amendments for consideration in this report. It also includes the donations report. District received over $32,000 in donations for the month of March. highlighted by $5,000 received from the Texas Regional Bank towards CHS Robotics. And we're thankful for every dollar we get towards the students at Burning ISD. That also includes the tax collection report. Tax collection for March are within expectations and include a report that shows $109.8 million in collections to date. That's 96.06 of the 25 levy. And that's a little bit ahead of last year, a little over half a percentage point over last year. It also should be noted that delinquent accounts are 1 million less than the prior year at this point in time. At this point, if you have any questions or comments about these reports, I'd be happy to address those.
You have a question, Mr. Senna?
Yeah, on the debt service fund, looks like the revenue, the tax collections, the investments has met our budget. I know we have one small interest payment in June. Does it look like we'll have a surplus in that this year in that area of the debt service fund?
It is likely that we'll have a surplus in that fund. We don't budget for interest income in that fund, so any interest income that we do receive is likely to result in a surplus.
So would that put us in a position to utilize that to pay down some debt early?
Yes, it will. What we'll probably do in the short term in this fiscal period is let it add on to fund balance and plan carefully in the next couple of years on what to do with that fund balance, which could result in early defeasance. Sir.
Great, thank you. And then, I noticed that I printed out our tax collection report from the same time a year ago, and what you pointed out was our delinquent taxes from previous years is lower, significantly lower. So I guess some people have caught up. What were the reasoning for that being?
What I saw when I looked at those reports, we have several newer multifamily housing properties along I-10, and in the first couple of years of those properties' existence, they were late. I don't know if they were in dispute or if they did not pay from a strategic perspective until late. But there were a few six-figure accounts there, and that those were paid off this year.
Good, thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, Rich, I was going to comment on the same, and you compare this year to last year, we're 0.71% higher in our tax collection in this current year versus where we were last year, which is always good to see. I know earlier in the school year, we talked about the challenges with inflation and everything, and wondering if that would be the case, but I'm certainly glad to see that. The other thing I wanted to comment on, we talked about the $32,000 in donations in March, and we talk about it on a monthly basis every month, but I was going to highlight the total of donations for this school year is $730,000. So when you think about what a generous community we have and supportive of the schools, trust in the schools, certainly a lot of that comes through Bernie Education Foundation, but that is a significant number that contributes to the success of our students. So $730,222 is impressive. So.
Yeah, and that same conversation, just talking about that $5,000 donation to Champion Robotics was huge. And they do have an amazing program, so it's exciting to see how they'll use that money and how it'll propel that program even more. So we have such a generous community, and it's just a blessing to see it all unfold and our students benefit from it.
Agreed.
Our PTOs had a couple of big projects in there, and as far as those delinquent taxes, they just keep coming on a monthly basis, pretty much indefinitely, or how does that play out?
Yes, ma'am. Those don't go away unless the property's sold, and we have a lien to collect on those before any. We've got I can't remember the legal term for it, but we get to collect on that before anybody else does for the proceeds from that property. But generally, you'll see once the January 31 deadline for paying taxes expires, you'll see a slowdown, but penalties and interests kick in, and there's certain points in time there's grace for some of those that pay on a quarterly basis, and that'll be coming up as well. We'll see an uptick in May and June.
Well, thanks for being one of the only handful in the state to represent us with the Hold Harmless, and thank you for all the extra work you've been doing on that and for us and with us, so appreciate it.
My pleasure.
I move to approve the budget amendments, donation report, and tax collection report as presented.
Second.
Motion by Christy Schmidt, second by Dallas Pipes. We'll take it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. For future business items, we're on our May 11th meeting. We will discuss strategic plan goals reports, the non-chapter 21 contracts, and we will canvass our school board election. Exciting. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Garrett Wilson, second by Carlin Fryer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 7:55 p.m.
Get your umbrellas out.